dust is in my eyes, my blood is on the ground. Quiet little chuckle and the shuffling of the boots of the coward that shot me down. He turns toward the sunrise and I hear him softly say, I guess you've met your macho man as the colors fade to gray.
Howdy, partners. Dust and Blood is a rabble-rousing, rootin'-tootin', bronco-bustin' podcast not suitable for the ears of young'uns. Take a gander at the content warnings and listen with care.
Welcome to Dust and Blood, a narrative play podcast set in the wild, weird fantasy West. I'm Blake, your GM, and our players are Keith Curtis as Jasper Graves, Corinne Hill as Myra Sting, Zach Parker as Moz Copernicus Pryor, and Gail Parker as Bonesaw. Last time on Dust and Blood, the party struggled to entertain Bonesaw on the boring train ride to Albuquerque, until the engine blew. Excellent. So yeah, where we finished off, you all were in the town of Albuquerque. It is late afternoon, around 5 o'clock, when you arrived in town. As you begin walking around, you get a chance to see a little bit of what this town looks like. Most of the buildings are fairly well-made wooden structures designed to both hold out the heat during the summers and keep out the cold in the winter as it is now. There isn't any snow in the streets. The streets themselves, for the most part, you notice on the main thoroughfare is actually this very well-cobbled street, though as you're walking and you look down several of the other roadways, you can immediately see, like, one just becomes a dirt path immediately heading towards a bridge. Another one is just not as well paved, but has like some wood planks down. The traffic here is fairly consistent throughout. There's people wandering through town, going about their business. You see a couple of carts moving equipment. The area that you're in right now near the train station is right next to the warehouse district, so there's a lot of comings and goings of all sorts of manufactured goods, livestock, the whole 9 yards. Right now, you are by number 33, which is Snow's Telegraph and Mail, which is also where the main train station is and kind of the junction between the north-south rails and the east-west rails.
So, do we want to go stay at that Flowing Waters Hotel and Restaurant where we're supposed to find Sawyer Blackjack, or do we want to find somewhere else?
Well, I'm thinking I'd really like to get that courthouse business over with sooner rather than later, so we ain't walking around with a chunk of change that ain't ours.
Let's go to the courthouse.
I suppose we could do that first.
That's smart.
I would like to put my cart down somewhere so we're not just...
Oh, yeah, let's get that off of the train before it goes somewhere.
The wagon's already been pulled off, and the train is just, like, there's a ton of people surrounding the train just like, what the fuck is going on? What in tarnation is this? Snow the entire time, she's just been leaning up against her tail, flicking back and forth, just incredibly bored.
Bonesaw addresses the crowd. Oh, it's Bonesaw's marvelous miracle elixirs!
Make a persuasion check for me. Diplomacy.
18.
18? Most of them seem to be kind of like, oh, Bonesaw, cool, Bonesaw. Rather than immediately turning bad. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. 16.
You notice more than a few of them are looking at you and Jasper.
Oh.
Myra's gonna put her arms around Jasper and Bonesaw and kind of pull them in a little close and be like, yeah, so they're we're new in town, and she's trying to give off the vibe. She's basically trying to like be intimidating and being like, don't touch my bros.
Okay.
She's giving off the like, don't even think about it kind of thing.
Give me an intimidation check. You're also pretty heavily armed, so intimidation check, I will say, with like a +3.
23.
So 26. Yes. Immediately, you get a sense, like, all of the people around just immediately are like, oh, look at this very interesting rock. Huh, that is a cool cloud. You successfully turn this crowd of just like, nope, not fucking with this.
Okay.
Myra, you're scaring them away.
Oh shit! Sorry, sorry, Bonesaw. I just got nervous. He sells good stuff.
You see, Snow has closed the door to her shop and has disappeared. She's no longer in the doorway.
No luck with the leg, I guess. Well, how about us two zombies ride in the cart? We can go to the hotel, drop off the cart, and then head to the courthouse right after.
Sure.
That probably sounds like a good idea. Yeah. All right, up on the cart, and while we're riding along, I'm just going to try and gauge how many looks do we get, because I imagine we're riding in the open on the cart.
Okay.
Unless you want to hide inside.
We could, but I want to try and get, sense motive, I guess, on the general crowd.
Okay.
Because I'm so good at it.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a sense motive check. I will say, you guys don't necessarily know where the Flowing Waters Hotel and Restaurant is right now.
Fair point.
They love us!
Oh, a 9? Yeah, unfortunately, there's no real telling. You can't get a real sense of this town. Most people are just moving by too fast.
All right. I choose to believe that we are beloved icons of the rugged West. And that we will be judged by our deeds and not by our appearance.
Do we want to flag someone down for directions?
Yeah, but maybe we should let Myra or Moz do that.
Smart.
Yeah, we can get this.
I don't know if I want to ask a stranger in this town where they want me to go.
Myra kind of sits up on the wagon, sees somebody walking past, and kind of waves him down and says, "Excuse me, sir. I was wondering if you could direct us to the, what was it called?
The Flowing Waters Hotel and Restaurant.
The Flowing Waters Hotel and Restaurant.
You want to go there?
Yeah, please.
It's a fancy-ass place. You just go up the road here, take a left, and take another right, and take a left. I'll be right up there."
Alright, thank you kindly.
Yeah, have a good night. He tips his hat and walks off. You notice, as you're going up the main road towards the area called the Crossroads, you actually see the courthouse. You know it's the courthouse as it has the large clock tower on it, and out in front of it is a gallows.
Oh, charming.
At the moment, there's nobody on it. However, as you look at it, it's very clear they are tying a new noose, and they're getting ready for a hanging.
Taking a look at this noose, is this an ordinary human-sized noose, or is it a larger than normal-sized noose? Because I know some folks what would require a larger noose if they were to be captured.
It seems like it's actually smaller than you would expect for a medium-sized humanoid.
Interesting.
Wonder if they finally caught that short gang that was causing a bunch of trouble.
No, the short round gang.
However, it does look like the courthouse itself is closed down for the day.
Aw, darn.
Drat.
Oh man, that means we're gonna have to sit on this all night long.
I think Moz will probably pull a bystander aside and say, "Are you going to be attending the hanging later?"
This guy, a rather tall-looking half-elf, looks down at Moz and says, "Huh, the Leslie Black Eye? Yeah, of course. Everybody's been waiting for that fucker to hang for years.
After hearing that name, does that ring any bells? Something that Moz might recognize or anyone in the party might know about?
No knowledge check necessary for Moz.
Oh,
What about anyone else?
interesting.
Everybody else, give me a knowledge local check.
22.
No idea.
Moz knows in particular. Bonesaw, you know kind of tangentially. Leslie Blackeye is a rather notorious hitman.
Okay.
And he has been operating kind of carte blanche in Albuquerque and the surrounding area for about 10 years.
Okay.
Particularly working for the Galloways.
Got it.
And to hear that he is about to hang is some fucking news.
My question is, why does Moz in particular know about Leslie Blackeye?
Presumably because you're into some shady shit, Moz.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, Mr. Riffraff.
Shit. Shit.
His name was given as a potential freelancer to some of your close associates if you ever needed work done in Albuquerque.
Okay. So I've heard his name before through my backstory.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I think with that information, Moz will sort of nod his head in agreement with the bystander and say, "Yeah, it's about time that bastard got what's coming for him," and send him on his way.
The bystander gives a little tip of the hat and continues on. As you continue down the road, Moz, give me a perception check.
Yeah. 21.
21. As you all are riding down the street, you pass a sign that says Diamondback Railroad, Albuquerque headquarters. This is not remarkable. It's presumed that they would have something here.
Yeah.
What does trip your senses with a 21 is you see several very heavily armed drow standing outside the building, carrying in a large briefcase looking thing between two of them.
So they're not like breaking in or anything. They're just moving cargo from the looks of it inside the building.
Correct.
Interesting.
In addition, you see another figure standing next to the door talking to presumably the head drow. A small rat folk that you immediately recognize.
I will go and approach the rat folk.
Moz, do you know how to get to... Oh, alright.
As you approach, you start to overhear some of what's being said. Yeah, well, you know how it goes. We're finally getting a little bit of business moving through and coming out west. You know, we've been doing quite fine in the southeast, but always looking to make these partnerships. And considering what you have going on with these, and he looks over and he looks a little bit shorter than you, dressed in a fine suit. He actually has a little bit of a mustache going at this point. You're not sure. He never had that before. You're pretty sure it's a little put upon.
Does he notice me coming up?
He does not seem to notice you. However, the drow that's standing next to him kind of stands a little bit straighter as you start to approach and looks at you.
Does the drow move to stop me?
She does not.
Okay.
If you try to do anything quickly, you're pretty sure you're gonna get several rounds placing you very quickly. You actually see her the main gun that she's carrying is not even a gun. It looks like a crossbow that has about 6 bolts primed and ready to fire at a moment's notice. And it's glowing with this deep purple light.
Nice. Well, I guess Moz will get as close as he can to the rat folk. If he doesn't notice him by the time he gets within just arm's reach, I suppose, I think Moz would loudly clear his throat.
Reggie turns around, blinks for a second, and says, Sorry, friend, I'm not Holy shit.
How you doing, Reggie? Been a while.
Moz, what are you doing here? Why are you're...
That is a long story. One that, I probably couldn't be able to tell you over, several evenings.
He just gives a chuckle and shakes his head and just pulls you into a hug.
Moz will, return it.
We thought you died several years ago. What? Where have you been?
Oh, here and there. Just, one step ahead of the, law. You know how it is.
Oh, don't I ever. He gives you a small punch on the shoulder and says, "It has been too long."
Indeed it has. So you got a little bit of facial hair there. When'd you start sprouting that?
He laughs and starts playing with it a little bit and says, it was Cheddar's idea. Thought it might be a little bit of a fun little affectation. I'm still getting used to it, but...
Cheddar's still putting on weight?
Well, when is he not? He's getting so big now, I'm surprised he's able to fit through the door, but...
That rat never knew when to stop eating.
Oh, that's true. Oh, hey, Monty's in town, too. He came to help out with this deal that I'm trying to make. And at this point, the drow turns and swishes this little half cape and says,
Mr. Pryor, I do not believe you should be discussing that with somebody who is not a part of the organization. Is not a part of the deal.
And Reggie looks up and says, it's fine. This is Moz. Moz.
Don't mind Faraday. She just has a stick up her ass.
I think Moz would actually take offense to this. He's gonna look directly at the drow spoke up and said, "You better watch your tone. You don't know who you're speaking to."
Jasper will speak up and say, "Any trouble there, Mr. Moz?"
No trouble, Jasper. Just, seeing some old faces. You guys go on ahead, I'll catch up.
Yes, sir. We'll be within earshot if you need us.
All right, Mozzie. We'll be at the hotel. You know, whenever you want to come.
I'll be there.
As the wagon begins to pull off, Reggie looks at you and looks at the drow and says, "Faraday, don't worry. Just give us a minute. Watch over the... What did you say it was?"
I am not saying the name of that in front of your relation.
And she's going to step over and give, like, a small snap of her fingers. Suddenly, two driders, armed with rifles, start climbing up around the building.
Oh, wow.
Just keeping an eye on things.
Seems you're doing awful good these days. Didn't expect to see y'all expanding so far west.
You know how it is, Moz. Sometimes things get a little, government's getting a little bit, difficult to work with, and, figured we might make a go of it coming out west, and there's plenty of folk out here willing to make a deal for some money, and, well...
Well, I imagine you got some stiff competition with the Diamondbacks.
Well, they're more pliable if you know how to speak their language, if you know what I mean.
It's a expensive conversation.
We know how to make that kind of conversation happen.
Well, I'll be in town. It's good to see you again. But I hope you understand, but I'm out. It's been too long, and well, I'm singing a different tune these days.
He gives a little bit of a cocked head and almost a disbelieving smile and says, "You're out? Moz, I mean, now that we know you're alive, we gotta rope you into some of these things. You know how it is. You are always the consummate performer, and, I mean, besides that business where you disappeared, but... Come on."
I've cleaned enough of your money. You seem to have been doing just fine without me all this time. And some things just aren't meant to be no more. I'll still be good to see you every now and then, but this ain't my life anymore. Hasn't been for a long time.
He chews on his lip a little bit and scratches behind one of his large ears and says, "All right, if you say you're out, then I can respect that, I suppose. Tell you what, I'm gonna be in town for a little while finalizing this deal with the Diamondbacks. Let's grab a drink or two in a couple of days. I'm sure that we can find some things to talk about."
Long as it ain't Cheddar's moonshine, I'll take you up on that offer.
Don't worry, it won't be.
I'll be seeing you, Reggie. Take care of yourself.
I'll be seeing you, Longtail. I'm Moz. And he claps you on the shoulder and squeezes it just a little bit too hard.
Yeah. I knew it was probably a bad idea to talk to him. But... he's family.
Well, you're a respectable landowner now.
Landowner and respectable, two very different things that one of them does not describe Moz.
Back at the cart, Bonesaw is crossed-armed, sulking, just slumped down like, I don't even see what's so cool about him. His mustache didn't even look that great. I mean, it's not like he needs more friends with us.
Hell, I don't know if I'd... Yeah.
You know what? I agree.
I think there's something going on there, but I don't know if I would call it, I don't know if I'd call it friendship, Bones. Not like what you and Moz got.
Well, you didn't see the way he looked at him. He just hopped right off the cart and wandered away.
Wonder if it's family.
Well, maybe. They didn't really look alike, did they?
No, they really didn't, no. Wonder how Moz would look with a mustache.
Devilishly handsome.
Oh, Moz, you're back.
Didn't mean to spook you.
Moz!
Hey, Bones.
You came back!
Of course I came back.
It occurs to me as we get closer to this hotel, I'm wondering if we're going to have any trouble, you and me, Bones, getting a room there.
Well, if they don't let us in, we could just sleep in the cart.
Well, yeah.
We might be able to sneak you guys in. Moz and I can go in, smooth talk them for a bit, and we can probably either sneak you around the back or do a disguise trick. But we'll get you in the hotel. It ain't fair for you to sleep in the cart.
Bones, last time I slept in that cart, a vial burned a hole through my shoe. That ain't happening.
Well, you should be more careful what you touch in there.
Yeah, you need to secure that more.
Speaking of secure, where have we placed the money?
That is a good question.
That's a very good question.
Who is carrying the money?
All I know is you wouldn't let me carry it.
I mean, I was about to say, who besides Bones is carrying the money?
I think we left it with Myra.
Oh, it was me. That's right. Yeah, Myra has it in her hand.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Let's go walk down some dark alleys while we're at it.
She's on the cart. She's
Okay.
got her rifle. She's got the briefcase, but she also got a gun right next to it. So nobody try nothing.
Yeah, you're surrounded by tough hombres,
Yeah, the crew.
Just a thought.
too. Yeah?
Myra III?
Yes,
Might be able to do a chest. I would think that's the first thing you learn.
that's a brilliant idea. Myra III.
Does a mimic actually have an interior space?
I mean, technically, yeah, you can at least make one. You open up your pack to pull out Myra III, and Myra III is an exact replica, albeit 4 times as big, as your silver star.
Oh no.
Just like big old silver star
Myra!
in your bag.
Myra III! Stop it! No, not that shape. Different shape. Gun. Be a gun.
And is like a mini Gatling gun.
Oh,
all of a sudden.
boy, he's growing. He's growing big.
That's adorable.
She takes out the little oversized Gatling gun. Is like, chest? Chest? Do you know chest? Speak?
Roll animal handling for me.
Let's see, animal handling, 17.
Ooh, not bad.
17. He changes into a nice little wooden chest.
Good boy or girl. Good mimic. Good job.
Tongue just bloop, and like panting almost.
She puts the cash inside the chest and closes it. Like, gently puts her head on the head and is like, okay, we close. Now we close.
How certain are we that will not get devoured?
Are you putting the entire lockbox in or just the cash? Because the lockbox itself is actually locked.
Probably the whole lockbox, because we're just hiding it from eyes.
Okay.
What's the point of putting a lockbox in a chest? Both of those look like they hold money inside of them.
That was my question.
We just put a box inside a box.
If somebody tries to open the chest, they freak out because Myra III goes blah, blah, blah,
Because it's a mimic.
and then they scream, and then we know.
I'm pretty sure they'd freak out because they'd have several bullets in their head by that point from all of the Western people in the party.
So extra precaution.
Myra III has the lockbox in. It's just slightly too big for them to hold in their body. So, like, in the chest, you see, like, a little corner poking up. It's very subtle, but it's... Somebody who was in a rush wouldn't see it, but somebody who's taking their time might notice it.
Okay. She's gonna put Myra 3 back in the cart and pat it on its head and say, good job, just keep it like that. And I guess we continue forward.
Oh, we're leaving the money unattended.
No, I mean, we're taking it with us.
No,
Well, locking it.
we're still on the cart traveling.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in the lockbox, in the mimic, in the cart, which we're locking.
Well,
I think we're a little paranoid.
I think we should actually take the lockbox with us inside the hotel. But it's just in the mimic now, so it doesn't look like a lockbox. I don't know.
It's all
because
good.
the chest is a lot more inconspicuous.
You eventually arrive at the Flowing Waters Hotel and Restaurant, and it is immediately clear that this place is insanely expensive looking. While all the other buildings, even the nicer buildings, have been wood, and you've even seen a couple of like small, squat adobe houses, this place is full on glitz and glamour. It has Corinthian stone columns. It has large palatial, like, place to pull up your carriage and get out and be undercover while an attendant takes a cart around to the stables. There is a footman at the front in a buttoned-up blue suit, very fancy, and there is a small fountain pouring out on the roof of this little trellis that you pull your cart under, and it flows down over, giving the illusion of a waterfall.
Wow.
As soon as the hotel hoves into sight and the scale of it becomes apparent, Jasper will say, hold up the cart for a second. And he's going to go into the cart, and you hear from inside, you hear a thump, thump, thump. Go ahead on.
Maybe I should go in there too.
No, don't come in right now.
Why not?
Oh,
That's tempting.
You'll see momentarily. Just hold your horse.
Fine.
After seeing all the very posh, glim-glam of everything, Moz will have his thumbs in his waistband and sort of spit off to the side.
hey.
Let's get this over with.
Myra is carrying Myra 3 and is covering up the spot where the box is kind of jutting out into the building, so she's got this huge chest that she's lugging.
He's still about, he's a little bit bigger than basketball size right now.
Okay, that's not too bad.
So he's not too bad.
She just is kind of holding this chest and like looking around. Suspiciously.
As you pull up to the front, two of the bellhops actually immediately hop to it, and one of them is going to grab Otto's reins and then pauses and is like, what do I do with this? And looking over.
Not one scratch!
The other one, a shorter human in that same blue crushed velvet suit with a small bellhop hat on, says, welcome to the Flowing Waters Hotel and Restaurant. Do you have a reservation that I can look up?
Yes, we're here with Sawyer Blackjack.
Sawyer Blackjack. One moment. I will have to go check our records on that. Come, you may come in, and do you have any bags to be taken up to your room? We'll take care of stabling your glances back at the wagon. Your wagon.
Where can I find it if I need it in a hurry?
We will give you a claim check number. Just come and let us know, and we'll bring it around front.
Goiter, stay with the cart. Goiter detaches and...
You see a small shudder run through this man.
All right, carry on. Oh, cucumber water.
Yeah, there's absolutely like a stand of cucumber water as you all come in, and you're staying in the cart, Jasper?
Actually, at this point, after the horse handling has gone on, before the cart is taken away, Jasper will step out. Jasper is dressed head to toe in an entirely different outfit. He has black slacks, black vest, white shirt, black ascot, black waistcoat, and a broad-brimmed hat. Very dapper looking.
Yes!
Excellent. You are fully dressed. You are the only one of your companions who actually fits in at the moment.
I thought it might be more prudent to dress as the locals do.
Gentleman Jasper, very fancy.
Well, I do say that the ironmongery at my hip does offset the look a bit. I probably wouldn't wear it in the schoolroom, unless children are a bit more rowdy these days.
You look like you get your nails manicured every 2 weeks.
That's not a bad idea, looking at my nails. I bet you they got that service here.
You look like the sort of person I would pickpocket.
The main bellhop visibly relaxes when he sees Jasper, just like, oh, okay, at least one of you is high class. And he gives a sweeping bow and holds the door open and says, welcome. If you proceed to any of the tables, we'll bring over a complimentary drink while we look up your reservation with Miss Sawyer.
Wonderful, thank you.
At this point, I'll lean over to Bonesaw. Did we actually have reservations?
Oh, hush, hush, hush.
Oh.
Until we're away from the bellhops, and then
Gotcha.
he'll say, Sawyer Blackjack is Sheriff Cat's friend who might have information about Jessie Blackburn. Whether or not she can get us in, I'm not sure, but they might call her down, and, you know, we can figure it out from there.
Well,
We're through the door.
yeah, and we are folk of means now, and I have a suspicion that a bit of gold goes a long way towards smoothing out little things like reservations.
I wonder if they have a spa.
Barkeep, I would like 1/2 of a finger of your finest whiskey.
As you're walking in, you see that this is an incredibly fancy and done-up place. It's this weird mixture of both, like, frontier Western nicety and actual, like, East Coast palatial estate nicety. It has this beautiful green wallpaper up. There's a lot of motifs of rivers throughout on the walls. Several stone columns, large chandelier. The bar top itself looks like it's made of this granite stone that's been highly polished. And the rows and rows of alcohols on the back very much show off this expensive area. All of the chairs in this lobby area are very fine velvet, surrounding small wooden tables for sitting around and chatting. You see what appears to be a small stage with blue curtains drawn across it in one of the corners. And when you call this out, immediately the man behind the bar pulls a bottle down, pours the drink, very flourishy pour, and brings it over and hands it to you.
Thank you kindly. Yeah, you can tell this place has class. Look, they got themselves a baby grand instead of an upright.
Yeah, you see somebody playing a piano in the corner next to the stage. Overall, there aren't many people. You see a couple of small clusters of well-to-do dressed up folk sitting down, one old woman in a long dress with a cigarette and a long cigarette holder, talking with a couple of others dressed similarly. An older human man in a tweed jacket with a pith helmet on, with a pipe, big bushy graying beard that's just talking to some other people who look well-to-do, and you are kind of given a range. You see from one of the back rooms, the doors open up, several plates of food being carried out, absolutely delicious smelling food. One that looks like half a roast duck just coming out steaming. And as you all find a place to sit, the bellhop steps over, and with him is a very tall half-orc. He is dressed in a fine black tuxedo. His black hair is primmed and slicked back with some pomade, and he's carrying a martini glass. Very, very fancy looking.
Ooh.
Purple eyes, a couple of piercings.
Damn.
Getting major Great Gatsby vibes, yeah.
He is putting off a bit of that air as he approaches, and he gives you a winning smile and says, "Good day. I am Jordan Yates. I am the owner of this establishment, Flowing Waters Hotel and Restaurant. I heard that you are here under Miss Blackjack's reservation."
Yes, that's absolutely true.
That is our understanding, yes.
Please have a seat. And he takes a sip of his drink.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Yates. To your health.
To yours.
I will drain one half of that half finger of whiskey.
He gives another winning smile and says, "Now, if you are here on Miss Blackjack's dime, I assume that you're here to provide for some of the damages she has caused."
Whoa.
What kind of damages?
You see, we pride ourselves on being able to service all folk, even centaurs. We know that they require special bedding needs. However, it seems the past couple of times she has visited, she has damaged our very expensive lamps and other things with her compatriots when she brings them back from the rodeo.
I see.
It is trivial, and we understand that there might be times where such accidents happen. However, I'm afraid we won't be able to continue her stay here if she does not pay back her required bills.
Well, we are not in a position to have any sort of power of attorney. This was simply a reservation that was made for us. If there is any problems with damages she caused, I'm certain that when we see her, we will let her know. In the meantime, can we arrange for rooms ourselves on our own funds?
I suppose that is acceptable. As soon as you mention, paying for it yourself, he seems to relax, and he actually takes a seat and pulls out a small pocketbook. Would you be requiring a suite or 4 separate rooms, 2 rooms to yourselves?
Oh, sweet, sweet. It'll be like having a sleepover.
Everyone can notice as Moz sort of puts his head in his hand.
A suite would do fine.
Wonderful. Now, would you want the full package stay? Would you want just a limited room and board? I can't highly recommend our all-inclusive stay enough.
Well, we are here on several different business endeavors. I have no idea how long we will be staying. So yes, if we can handle this on a short-term basis, that would probably be better and less confusing.
Of course.
What does the package include?
Oh, the package would include any amount of the food from our world-famous, renowned chef, Faraday. She is quite talented, one of the best restaurateurs this side of the Mississippi. I hand-selected her myself. Now, of course, you would also be welcome to use our bathhouses. We have a facility for providing laundry. We have an in-house tailor, if you need such a thing. That is just the beginning of the services. We try to accommodate any requests of those who have the full package to the best of our abilities.
Bonesaw nudges Jasper when he mentions the tailor. Do you provide dust baths for the liquid challenged?
Jordan just takes a sip of his drink and says, "We can certainly attempt it."
Well, can't ask for much more than that. Folks, could you excuse us for just a moment, sir, while we confabulate with ourselves?
Of course.
And and it is obvious that Jasper is waffling back and forth between Eastern and Western, and he seems a bit flustered by this, as if he doesn't know who he is at the moment, or who he should be, rather.
Real quick, Mr. Yates, how much for the standard, for the package, and how much does Sawyer owe, just out of curiosity?
Sawyer currently owes approximately $25. That is just on the current bill. For just the basic room and board, that would be $4 per night. If you want the all-inclusive package, that would be $16 a night.
Myra's loaded, y'all. So if you want...
I know, I think we all are.
Honestly, laundry sounds kind of nice.
That's chump change.
Yes, I think that we will go with the full package then. That sounds eminently reasonable, and we look forward to partaking of your amenities.
Wonderful. I will send one of the boys over to take care of you, have any packages you need taken up to your room, and if you need anything, feel free to ask. And he holds out his drink for a bit of a cheers, downs it, and steps away.
Hold on a minute. Where might we find this Miss Sawyer?
That's the rodeo, probably.
You can tell that Mr. Yates definitely has a bit of a distaste for Sawyer, but money is money. Mm-hmm. And he says, she and her rowdy compatriots tend to find themselves down at the rodeo yards in the evenings, betting and putting down money on such gentlemanly games such as that. Here we prefer a nice quiet game of bridge, or occasionally, if we're feeling a bit exciting, a hand of poker.
Well, you sound incredibly dull, but thank you for the help.
His smile doesn't falter at all.
You know, Bonesaw will hand him $25 and say, "That's for Sawyer. Sorry for the trouble she's caused."
Oh, thank you very much. It is quite... And he rifles through it. That is quite appreciated, thank you. And he puts it in his jacket pocket. Let me know if you need anything else. And he steps away to the bar. He sets down his glass that he drained, and the bartender immediately hands him the same exact drink for him to start drinking.
So, was that $16 for each of us, or is that
Total.
Split 4 ways? Okay, so
Split
it's
4
$4 a night
Yeah.
for each of us.
That is even better than I thought.
Yeah.
Minus 29.
As you all are kind of taking a minute to settle in, one of the bellhops, this time a young gnomish woman, walks over, standing shorter than all of you, even when you're sitting, and says, "Howdy, y'all. I heard that you have our full all-inclusive package, is that right?"
That is correct.
Well, here you go. And she pulls out 4 keys. You all are gonna be up in room 16 on the second floor.
Wonderful.
Would you look at that?
That is going to be 2 suites. It has 4 bed options for you to be able to stay in. Would you care for anything to eat? The show's going to be starting here in a little bit. We can have something brought.
Show?
Yes, a nightly singer that Mr. Yates has hired.
What time of day is it?
At this point, it's probably like 6:37-ish.
Do we want to hang around here, or do we want to just do some errands?
Well, courthouse is closed, so we may as well pig out and watch a show and, deal with responsibilities tomorrow.
Myra, Jasper, what are your 2 cents?
I think that I would like to partake of a very nice meal, a nice show, and maybe get a manicure.
I'm probably just gonna eat and turn in, not saying that she's actually gonna sneak out and go visit Arroyo for a little bit while everyone's watching the show.
Well, think we earned ourselves a little bit of downtime after that business with the train earlier. Suppose we've had quite a lot of action for one day. Let's eat.
The woman's standing there and says, "Would you like me to put you down for the chef's special, hun?"
Sure.
Oh, what would that be?
It is buffalo à l'orange with a side of seared snake, I believe.
Myra gets a little...
We're heavy on the game meat here.
Moz will shoot a look to Myra and nod his head to the waiter.
Bonesaw also glances at Myra to gauge her reaction.
Went right over Jasper's head.
Sounds delicious.
I'll have something simple.
I believe that there is a... we also have a steak that's available.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll eat a different animal. That's good.
All right, how do you want that done? Huh?
Medium rare, if you could.
I'll bring that right out. Round of drinks for the lot of you.
I'll have the special sans snake folk. Snake! Sans snakes.
Snake. Oh, wow. Oh, what a giveaway.
Myra actually pats Bonesaw's shoulder and goes, it's okay. It's just, it's a me thing. It's not really, you don't have to worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, good. I didn't want to, I didn't want to offend.
No. It's kind of weird for me, but it's not really, I'm not like a snake. I'm a snake folk, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think I'd bat an eye if you were to eat a monkey.
Fair point.
It takes about 20 minutes. You all have complimentary glasses of alcohol brought over. You each get a Scotch whiskey, a decent brand, not necessarily top shelf, but compliments of the house, as you would expect.
As this second drink comes to the table, Jasper will begin to shove it over towards Bonesaw, and then it just kind of takes a little left-hand turn over toward Myra. I've had my limit.
Bonesaw's beak tracks it the whole time.
She pushes it back towards Bonesaw.
Oh, goody.
You just like pouring kerosene on fire, don't you?
I think Moz will actually play mage hands a little bit, and try and slide the glass over his direction.
It's like taking the kids to like a steakhouse. It's like we can't take them anywhere. Why did we think this was a good idea?
Yeah, the drink is just getting shuffled around the time that a halfling with the longest and reddest hair you have ever seen, in a bright smile, wearing a long apron, comes out, just smiling up a storm, carrying 4 plates, and she sets down one in front of each of you, setting the steak in front of Myra, the snakeless buffalo orange in front of Bonesaw, and Jasper and Moz getting the regular chef special. And she says, "Oh, thank you all so much for joining. I hope you enjoy it. I'm always open to criticism. This one's a little bit of an experiment. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, thank you ever so much. It looks delightful. I'm gonna cast Detect Poison on the food.
Well, I do have to say the spatula in her hair does not look too hygienic.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of, like, mess about her. She's even carrying, like, a big cleaver at her side.
Oh my god, she's adorable.
And she just has this happy, peppy energy about her. Detect Poison. What is it?
I'm gonna do the 5-foot cube and try to get all of our plates.
Okay. This is an interesting question.
Oh, wow.
I don't like that response.
It might be because we're eating poisonous snake.
I will say you do not detect any poison.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad you will say that.
You do see, like, as you're looking at it, this is a rattlesnake that was cooked and skinned, and she has done it to make it look like the snake has wrapped around in that way that, like, it's strangling the buffalo meat.
Huh.
But it itself is, like, cooked to this beautiful char, almost looking like bacon. It doesn't have a head or a tail, but that's kind of what it looks like as she sets it out and says, I hope you enjoy. I have to get back. I think something is going to start burning soon, but let me know if you need anything. Okay, bye. And she bounces out.
Bonesaw will push his mask half up and shovel as much food as quickly as he can because he wants to be able to watch the show when it starts without having to look through like half the lenses.
Myra's eating also pretty fast because she wants to go to bed pretty soon. So
Just as Myra and Bonesaw are finishing up, the music changes and the lights get dimmed a little bit, except for on the stage, and you hear an announcer voice say, Please, welcome to the stage for your auditory pleasure this evening, the wonderful, the illustrious Ruby Galloway.
Oh,
interesting.
my.
And stepping up onto the stage is this halfling in this long blue dress. She wears a big ruby right on her necklace. She has very red hair, almost too red of hair, and very green eyes. Her face is very smooth, and she's wearing her hair up in almost like a turban. You know how kind of the older starlets of the 1920s would wear the turban-looking thing. That's what her hair is up in. She steps up and they start playing a song, and she begins to sing. It is a simple song, but Moz in particular can tell there is some serious talent behind this. It could be trained, it could be brought to even better, but right now, as she sings this low, sonorous song, very lounge singer-esque, almost lulling everybody into the song.
Can Moz do an Arcana check?
Yes.
Just as someone who specializes in, magic in the form of music, that seems like alarm bells.
No.
Oh.
A nat 1.
Yeah.
You're not sure. You're kind of caught up in like, what is this person doing? What is this person potentially doing? What are they trying to do to me? So much that you kind of miss the spot of like actually figuring out what she's doing.
Okay.
If she's doing anything, but it is hard to tell.
Okay. I guess Moz will just be jamming out to the music. He's really, really invested in whatever she's singing.
Myra is going to make a big show of stretching, going, I'm gonna go up to the room. I'll see you guys up there. She gets up and starts making her way towards the stairs, looks back to see if they're watching her, and then she's gonna sneak right out the front door.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
I would like to resist that stealth check because I was going to make sure she made it upstairs okay.
Oh, you're
Okay.
so sweet. 23.
Oh, perception.
Myra thought she was being sneaky. She thought she was being sneaky.
You were sneaking up for Bonesaw. Not Jasper.
Bonesaw sees nothing. Jasper, you see, like, as she's starting to go up, you see her turn and make her way out the front door.
All right, I will make no note that I have seen, but I will remember that. In case we're wondering where she went off to. She did go off on her own.
I think Moz is distracted by the music, so he wouldn't have been looking around.
Moz, as you're sitting there and watching, your fiddle does vibrate. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Oh.
So I noticed that it vibrates.
Yeah. Nothing more than a vibrate at the moment, but just like a, hey, let's keep an eye on this.
Has the fiddle ever vibrated before in that manner?
It's done it a couple of times.
Okay.
The most recent time was when you first encountered Jim.
Jim Ziplack?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Oh, fuck. We just got here. Come on.
It is not an urgent vibration. It is just a, hey, I got an idea.
People don't sleep.
Next order of business is determining whether she's a horrible person or not. Okay, well, Moz will keep that to himself.
How long do you all stay at the show?
Do they ever stop serving us drinks?
Do they cut you off?
They bring you 2 drinks, the first initial one, and then a second one after that one is done. But after that, they do not explicitly come and bring one over.
Okay.
They don't prompt us with them. I will ask at one point, you folks have a cigar saloon?
The same gnomish woman says, yeah, I believe we have some fine cigars. Are you looking for some from Cuba, from the Dragonlands? What can we get you?
The Dragonlands?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had something from there.
Well, yes, well.
I'm familiar with some of the more common Cuban, but yeah, I'd like to try something. Whatever you recommend.
All right. And she's going to disappear and come back with a small set of cigars for you. The first one already has the tip snipped off, and she brings over one of the lamps to help light it.
As he's lighting, Jasper will glance over with his eyes towards Moz and Bonesaw. Either of you folks?
Sure, Moz will accept.
No, it sort of gets caught up in the mask, though, you know, sometimes I think I might, for old time's sake. My dad used to smoke, so it sort of reminds me of him.
Aww.
Ah, I'm kind of surprised you don't have an attachment for the purpose of that.
Oh, there's an idea.
Oh, God.
No, this is calculated. This is calculated. This is like, all right, if I don't put a project in Bonesaw's head, Bonesaw will come up with their own project. I imagine it would be quite an engineering endeavor.
I should look into some modifications. You know, I've been thinking about adding some extra lenses, and, you know, it's just... It's hard to work on. Because I can only take it off for so long before... Well, you know.
Jasper is, like, leaning in and creating this silent void after that, hoping that Bonesaw will fill that silence. You want to make this some kind of a social contest? A roll-off?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to go with, persuasion.
Okay.
Because, again, I'm so good at it. Oh, is there a persuasion?
Diplomacy.
Oh, I'm equally good at diplomacy.
I feel like I'll go with bluff, because that makes the most sense.
Oh, yeah, you probably have, like, 72 ranks in bluff.
Oh, no!
Ooh, better bluff.
I only had 5 points in bluff, but I rolled a 19.
Well, I had 2 points in diplomacy, and I rolled a 17, so 19 against your 24.
Bonesaw, after bringing up the topic, it goes sort of uncharacteristically quiet and fiddles with the empty glass.
After that becomes apparent, Jasper will lean back and take a long drag on his cheroot.
Well, this conversation is very engaging, but I think I'm gonna go grab some shut-eye. Y'all have a good night. Moz will make his way up to the room and leave the awkward silence to these two.
Good night, Moz. I'll see you tomorrow.
Night, Bones.
I'll be up shortly. Jasper will stay down in the show area for a while longer, just because it's not often that this sort of finery comes their way. They're more often out on the trail and eating dust, and Myra's cooking.
Put it on one of the health hazards of living out in the wild. Myra's cooking.
So you had told me that you were going to tell me about Trefoil Vitae, which I already know, some about, but you seem to be the expert.
Yeah, well, to this day, I'm not even certain that it really exists. Long story short, as you know, several people very close to me passed away due to disease, yellow fever. And there was a long period where I was not much good to anyone. I did not handle it well. But when I was a teacher, I taught botany, among other things. And I came across several references to this plant called Trefoil Vitae, a three-leafed plant that could, according to legend, provide life, extend life, possibly even restore life to things that had passed on. But mostly the extending and the preservation of life was what interested me. I did not want others to have to go through what I went through, so I came out west looking for it. I thought I might have found it, and about that time, I got shot several times in the gut, and I died. The ornery polecats what left me to die left me there for quite some time, but I had found this plant, and I ingested it before testing anything.
Where did you find it?
Well, Badlands south and east of here. Just the most inhospitable stretch of terrain. You wouldn't believe by looking at it that anything green could grow there, which was one of the reasons that I had believed that it would be a likely habitat for such a species. Something that could grow without any surrounding life.
Were the people who shot you also looking for the plant?
Alright, at this point, Jasper is, pinching his nose as if he has a headache. I'm sorry, I'm feeling a bit dissociative at the moment. No, I think they were just after whatever coinage I might have had on me, which wasn't much. Probably the most valuable thing I had on me was a pocket watch. That had some material value, but its primary value was in the photograph that was on the inside of the snap case. A photograph of my family, now lost to me. I'm sorry, I think I've probably had too much to drink and smoke. I think I'll be heading upstairs myself.
All right.
How about yourself?
Well, the night is young, but there's no one to share it with, so I suppose I'll come up.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
You can see Jasper was kind of holding his breath, waiting for that sentence to come out, like, oh, thank God, we're going to bed.
Albuquerque isn't really the sort of town I want to go making trouble out at night alone in.
No, it does look to be, pardon me. And again, he pinches his nose and says, yeah, it looks to be a mite fancy. But it does look to be fancy enough that you couldn't easily walk away from any trouble what might get stirred up. I think it's time to turn in.
You are going towards Arroyo, correct? The Arroyo area?
Yep. And I think when she's halfway to Arroyo, she realizes that she has the mimic in her hand, so she goes, shit. Well, I'm already out here, whatever.
If you want, you can have Myra III reconfigure themselves to something that's a bit less conspicuous.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell Myra III to be a little pistol, and then I guess she's just gonna have the lockbox.
Transforms into a pistol but doesn't pull out the lockbox, so it's like it's a pistol texture stretched out across a too big box, and Myra III gives a little...
No. Spit it out. Spit it out. There you go. There we go. Drop it. Okay, now be small gun. Okay, good job. Okay, treats for you later.
As she starts to walk through Arroyo, as the sun is setting, people are starting to make their way into town. She's walking on the border between Old Albuquerque and Arroyo, and can definitely see Old Albuquerque is the swanky area. All of the other places have been fairly close together. There haven't been really any yards. It's been like place right next to it. If it's a home, they're right on top of each other. There, though, they're much larger palatial estates. You have actual homes with yards and walls and fences as you start to cut around and through. Give me a perception check.
28.
Excellent. As you look around, you notice somebody is following.
God, piece of shit. Damn it, motherfucking piece. God damn it.
At a bit of a distance.
If I get robbed, I'm gonna be so mad.
She looks fairly unique. You haven't seen somebody who looks like her before. Wow. She has blue skin and blue eyes, several tattoos coming down her face, and long blue stripes going down her very toned and muscular and scarred arms. Her hands are wrapped, and she's wearing this blue vest and a newsboy cap pulled low over her face, a blue hat, of course. She's not doing anything. She's just watching and following.
When did I first notice them?
Right when you were about to turn away from the Old Albuquerque area to cross over to get to Arroyo. So right around this area.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to lose my tail.
Okay.
Not my tail, but the other tail.
Give me a stealth check.
Come on, baby.
Ooh.
25?
Let's see. You duck between several different houses. You sneak down, get around. You actually climb up and over a couple of buildings to get away. And you finally arrive on the main street on the outside of Arroyo. And standing across from you, you see this person leaning against a wall, flipping a coin ahead of you. Just flipping a coin, catching it, flip the coin. You see on her left hand a set of gleaming brass knuckles.
She looks around, looks up and down the street, see if there's anybody else around and if it's just this person.
From what you can tell, yeah, it looks like it's just her.
She puts a hand on the gun that's a mimic. That's Myra III. And she just kind of says, "You're mighty impressive. Got quite the moves. Thought I lost you."
She speaks up in an extremely heavy Chicago accent. I can't do a heavy Chicago accent.
That's okay.
Yeah, a hard one to follow.
I'm glad I gave you some sort of a challenge.
No, you didn't give me a challenge.
I like your spunk.
Thank you. I heard you were, new in town. Made quite a entrance.
Yeah, you saw the train.
Or the remnants of it.
Yep, it was a shitty old train, but we managed to stop it. Sorry for, disturbing the peace. I'll tell you, and she puts the hand a little tighter around the mimic. I don't want no trouble.
She pulls out a cigarette, rolls it between her fingers, and just keeps rolling it as all of the tobacco falls out of the paper, and then throws it. Don't worry, not gonna be any trouble.
Can I look around my surroundings to see if anybody else is popping up?
Give me a perception check.
I'm afraid that was a signal. 21.
At each end of the road, some distance away, you see a couple of orcs dressed very similar to her, carrying what appear to be baseball bats. Just standing, more like they're keeping people from coming down the road.
I see. Myra kind of looks down the road at them and says, "Now, I don't mean to be trespassing on your turf, but I do have some business in the neighborhood there yonder. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd like your permission to pass peacefully."
The woman stands up and walks towards you, hands open, and says, "This whole town's our turf, little lady. It's gonna be tough to get away from us."
You the Galloways?
I wouldn't exactly go telling you that if I was, now would I? Tell you what, you seem like the friendly sort. At this point, she is within arm's reach of you.
She backs up.
Seem pretty nervous.
Yeah, well,
Perhaps you'd care for a drink. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out a flask of water.
Myra says goodnight and is leaving.
What's Myra's speed?
Oh, shit. Fuck me. She's actually not that fast. She 30.
30?
Mm-hmm.
In front of you, suddenly,
Shit.
this woman is standing there, scratching at her nose and says, "Ranger like you don't come into town on no business."
Well, I am on business, but it, quite frankly, ain't your business. My business.
She cracks her knuckles, gives a small whistle, and says, "Very well. If you insist on keeping your business to yourself." And she takes off her hat, gives a bit of a bow, puts the hat back on.
She looks behind her. Is there people approaching?
No, and in fact, the two people that were at the end
Mm-hmm.
have disappeared.
Oh, great. Okay.
Have a good evening. And you might want to watch your step. Might be, pickpockets. And she rolls the coin across her knuckles.
Shit! No! No! She snatches it back immediately.
Make a sleight of hand check.
No!
Oh no! That's enough.
She grasps the coin in her hand and smiles and says, "Honey, this is mine. I mean, you might want to watch that box on your hip a little bit closer."
Oh, it's not mine.
No, it's her own coin. Do you look down at the lockbox?
Yes, is it still there?
As you do,
God.
she goes to kick you in the stomach.
Damn it!
Oh.
Roll me some initiative.
I thought maybe she can just kind of take a look around, get a feel for the neighborhood, and then she'll just hop right on back. No big deal.
Wander around through crime-ridden neighborhoods with a huge lockbox full of money.
Let me roll initiative
This
for them.
business really couldn't have waited till the morning?
Well, I didn't think the lockbox was going to be that much of an issue. Apparently it is, though. Really dumb of me to assume that Blake wouldn't instantly jump on that.
Come on, Myra. You're supposed to be the responsible one, damn it.
I know.
What's your AC right now?
19.
19? Holy shit. She actually only hits with one of the attacks. As she starts coming in and it's just boom, 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 boom. You manage to block but one of them just finally kicks you right in the gut, just boom!
One attack out of how many?
Out of 5.
Ah.
I think it might be a flurry of blows coming your way.
Yeah. So take 16 points of damage.
Damn. Okay. This person's way too fast. She's gonna try Myra III dynamite mode. And what she's gonna do is she's gonna say, okay, ready, dynamite! And she's gonna pull out the mimic and hoping that it's going to be a stick of dynamite that is slowly fizzling down. And she's gonna run right at her, being like, I got a stick of dynamite, bitch, I'm gonna get you. To see if she'll get out of the way. She's gonna bluff.
Make a bluff check with a +3.
Okay.
Oh,
26,
nice.
29.
Let me do an opposed sense motive. I don't think I'm going to have you make an animal handling check for this one.
Okay.
You just charge forward and you hold it out, and Myra III suddenly morphs into a stick of dynamite, and you hear a coming from it. However, this woman actually looks a bit taken aback and takes a step back and looks concerned.
She goes run. She's gonna run right past her and holding out the stick towards her, like, don't fucking touch me. Don't touch me.
I'll use it.
Okay. She gets past. How far is Myra gonna run?
She's gonna run back to the hotel. She's done for the night. This was a bad idea. It was a bad idea.
She does not encounter any resistance making her way back.
Is the lockbox still there?
Make a perception check for me.
Natural 20.
Oh, natural 20.
You see the lockbox is still there.
Okay.
However, written on the outside in chalk is a large G.
Ooh. G for Galloway.
You also see, as you're going into the hotel, having dead-ass run the entire way, you manage to arrive back, and you turn around, and you see the woman off in the distance, standing there, lighting up a cigarette, and just watching the door.
I led her back to us. Why? Myra goes in, and she's like, fuck. And she runs up to the room, and she's just gonna tell them everything because they're tagged now. So she comes in and she goes into the room. She busts open the door and goes, "God damn it!"
Jasper, who is sitting in a chair watching the door. Everything okay, Myra?
She puts the lockbox down. She puts the mimic back in her holster, and she goes, I am the biggest, dumbest idiot that ever lived. The fucking Galloways found us. It's all my fault. I forgot I had the lockbox with me. I went to go investigate something in a different neighborhood, and freaking teleporter found me and tried to take the lockbox. Now they have the coin. They have Wesglen's coin.
Sorry, no, it's not Wesglen's coin. It was her own coin.
Oh, okay.
It was the one she was flipping.
Okay, I see.
Well, maybe you think that and you haven't checked for your own Wesglen's coin.
Oh, so she says, wait a minute, digs around her pocket and finds Wesglen's coin.
As you're holding Wesglen's coin, it is still doing that little vibration that it was earlier. And as you do, you take a blink and you have this moment of like, wait, why was this coin important? Was there... Am I missing... There was something that I'm missing. And you feel that memory slipping even further away. You realize that you're forgetting that you even had a memory that was taken from you. Those blank spots in your memory are getting wider.
Because I didn't seal the deal.
Yes.
She's gonna activate it.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Full of rash decisions
Not of
tonight.
bad decisions. Because she's gonna eventually forget what it's for, and that's starting to get on dangerous territory. So, and she's riled up. She doesn't want to get stuck in any more bad decisions.
What are Bonesaw and Moz up to right now?
Bonesaw is sitting up from bed, throwing the blankets back, like, I really do need my beauty sleep. You don't want to see me without it.
I think that Myra would have actually interrupted one of the 2 hours Moz needs to sleep, and he'll kind of poke his head up with the, he has little, shades, like, covering his eyes, as he sleeps, and he'll, huh? What's going on?
The portal splits open, like...
Jasper's in slow motion. Wait!
As Myra, and to describe the rooms, the suite a little bit, it is nice. You actually look, and it has central gas.
Ooh.
Like, it actually has its own specialized
Fancy.
gas to burn. There's the same beautiful blue and green wallpaper, a wonderful mural, a small fountain in one corner, just pouring water, its own attached little wash basin with a chamber pot. It's 2 adjoined rooms, 2 beds in each, about queen bed size. And as Myra activates this in the first room, suddenly weeds begin to sprout out of the coin.
Oh, we're gonna be charged for this.
And wrap around her hand, moving down, growing larger, starting to spring out against the walls, the ceiling, the floor, wrapping around, forming this large tunnel, still holding Myra's hand. She begins to feel pinpricks of thorns in her hand and arm as it grows. And suddenly, with this sound of tearing paper, a swirling portal opens up, and a face that you haven't seen in a while, holding the skull, picking a bit of flesh off of it, and dropping it on the ground, is Wesglen. Her hands, this mottled wooden texture, her long green hair flowing down as she examines the skull and says, "What can I do for you?"
It's done. It's done. The railroad is gonna move around your territory. I forgot to let you know, but the deal has been sealed. I just want you to let you know and stop taking my memories. I want my memories back.
You want your memories back?
Yes, that was the deal.
She stalks over towards you, Myra, standing quite a bit taller than you. As she walks, the wood floors almost seem to spring up and grab her feet becoming almost like they're a part of the wood.
Myra backs up a little bit.
Yes, I remember. You claimed that you could get all of that nasty iron to move around, and you claim to have been able to do that.
Yes, we'd done the best we could. We can't control the railroads directly. What else is wrong?
Nothing is wrong, my dear. And she reaches into the mess of vines and everything and plucks the coin out of your still entangled hand and holds it up. It seems that you have done as you claimed. And she waves her hand and the coin disappears. A shame. I quite enjoyed pulling on that little thread, and she reaches into a pouch at her side and draws out this now very long loop of silvery thread. And as she shifts it, one of the threads slings up to Myra's head, and she gives it just the barest little tug. And Myra, you feel yourself forget learning how to shoot with your paw. That's the funny thing about all of your morsel memories. They get so twisted up and so entangled that it can be difficult to pull on a single one and have nothing else happen. But, as you said, You have fulfilled your side of the bargain. And she begins to rub her fingers together. And as she does, the string begins to flow out towards Myra. And Myra, you begin to feel this sudden rush of memories. You remember learning how to shoot. You remember your mother. You realize you've forgotten all about her. You forgot how she would make meals for you and your pa while you went out on jobs. You forgot how much you cried at her funeral. You forgot that argument with your father after she died. All of that was forgotten as more of the string flows into your head before she finally, holding the last little bit, lets it go and it flings back in.
A little tear goes down the right side of her face.
Myra, you okay?
Yeah. I remember now why I wanted to give this one up. Wesglen, are we done?
I believe there was mention of a boon.
Yes, you have one boon available. Ask me what you would want, and I will provide it to the best of my ability.
Think carefully. Is this boon just for Myra, or is it for any of us?
Any of you may claim it, but it primarily belongs to this one, pointing at Myra.
Hold on a second, Myra.
Yes, Jasper?
There might be something that we could, what about that fiddle?
The what now?
Nothing, go back to sleep.
You reckon she could break a contract?
You might as well ask. Oh, Wesglen, nothing we're saying should be considered the boon yet. We'll let you know, so don't take any of this the wrong way. If someone were caught in a, devilish contract, what could you do about that situation?
A devilish contract. They're almost as difficult to worm your way out of as some of my folk have come up with.
Then you're intimately familiar with the idea.
Very much so.
Do you know any devious Fey lawyers who could argue our friend's case at some future time, perhaps?
I don't know if I get too specific, but...
Yes, I can have somebody who can help argue his case.
What do you all think?
Moz?
It's Myra's wish. I've been going down this road for a long time. I don't mind going down a bit longer.
We don't want you to keep going down that road, because we know you don't. And, a wish is a wish, and, don't have anything in particular I want to wish for. Honestly, all three of you have things that you could really benefit from this. Memories, past lives, pocket watches.
Ain't nothing worth that.
Out of curiosity, could you, would you have the power to boot, an unwanted visitor out of someone's head?
She considers and says, "No, I am not capable of that."
Well, that's fine.
Well, Moz, if this could help you, this might be the only way.
You do not want to spend an afterlife in that kind of torment. There are better places to be after you die.
It's your call, Myra.
It's all yours.
Okay, then. Faye, find me a lawyer. Good one. One that might be able to help me get out of this here contract. And step to it.
Please.
I'm not sure how much time I have.
She gives you this cockeyed look of just like, did you really just say that to me? But as she does, she extends a hand for a shake.
Just one deal after another. Moz will climb out of bed, take his sleeping mask off, and he'll begrudgingly send his hand out to meet Wesglen's.
She shakes his hand And as she does, a small piece of paper appears in his hand. When you have need of the lawyer, tear this paper in half and they will come to you.
Like the sound of that?
They will be the best lawyer that I can find.
Okay, then.
Good luck. Oh, and Myra.
Yes.
She holds out her hand above yours. Your free hand, the one that isn't trapped, and drops the Witch Market coin into her hand. Keep the change.
Wow.
She steps back into the trees that begin to shrink down into the wood before leaving behind just a single small sapling growing out of the wood floor.
Well, that's going to be mighty difficult to explain.
Myra's breath is shaky, and she grips the coin, gives a big sigh of relief. Is the coin still magical, or is it just a regular old coin at this point?
You would have to roll an Arcana check, or if somebody dropped it, detect magic.
I wouldn't be able to do
see.
that.
I could probably do both.
Jasper's just going to collapse into a chair.
Yes. I'll just go ahead and cast that.
You determine that it is still magical, and it is now a regular Witch Market coin.
Now it's dangerous, because if we express a wish around it...
No one express any wishes.
I really wish that you wouldn't express any wishes.
You divided by 0, the universe is gone!
She shoves the coin back in her pocket and says, "We've been found out by the Galloways. They know we have the money. They're going to come at us. We need to be really careful tomorrow and tonight."
All right, just sit for a minute. You just went through a lot. Can I just... Bonesaw, gently settles her on a chair, and he starts, checking her eye reaction to light and, checking her hand where she was pierced by the thorns and healing her up and just making sure she's good.
She's, shaking a little bit.
Listen, Myra, the Galloways are all over this town. It's not really your fault. They were going to run into us regardless. Ideally, we'd all be together when we do.
I wanted to check something in a different neighborhood. I didn't want to rope you into it. I don't want to get any more people involved in my fuck-ups.
Can Moz take a look at the lockbox that has the chalk on it?
Yeah, absolutely. You go to check the lockbox. It is still locked. However, there's just a large G that has been written in chalk on it.
Can Moz try to, scrub it off, or,
Yeah, it comes off easily.
Okay.
Check it for magic.
As far as Moz can tell, is it, a magical chalk? Does it have, a certain residue or, signature that can be tracked, or was it purely just chalk that got drawn on there?
From what he starts checking, it is purely just chalk. You get the sense that this was meant as a flex explicitly on you guys to fuck with you.
Okay. I ain't that curious.
Myra, we want to be involved in your fuck-ups. That's what friends are for.
I don't know if I could have said it any better.
Unless they wake me up.
I work as a Revenant Ranger, and I'm trying to make up for many years of terrible things. And Ranger Rick has been working with me to help with that. I went to a neighborhood in Albuquerque that may have ties to the beginning of a Revenant. And as a Revenant Ranger, it's my job to help them find peace. I don't want to say any more than that. I'm sorry.
Well, it's admirable that you're trying to atone for your sins. Some of us can't seem to stop making them, it seems.
Not me, though. In case you were wondering.
Nope, not you, Bones. That's why we keep you around. You're our... moral compass.
I'm just amazed that your mouth did not just explode into flames there. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a bluff check.
Yeah.
Dirty 20 on that bluff.
I live to serve.
I mean, all things considering, even though Bonesaw may be a little loosey-goosey with the morals, they've done less shady shit than Moz and I. Moz is literally in a deal with the devil. I got his shit passed.
I was just a useless drunk for 3 years.
Bonesaw is just a, nice guy.
Exactly. No weird shady bits in my past. Nothing dark there.
I believe in you, Bonesaw.
Well.
So, bedtime?
Well, as comfortable as these rooms are, I think now that we have been identified, we cannot afford to all sleep at the same time. I ain't had a lick of sleep waiting for you to get back, Myra. And I know that Moz has had a couple of winks, but I don't know if they're enough. So, Myra, I volunteer you to be first watch.
No, she raises a hand and says, "Yeah, I don't think I can quite go to sleep just yet anyway."
That's what I reckoned.
Yeah. She posts up in a chair, watches the door.
Keep an eye on the windows, too. I'm going to go around and make sure they're all locked.
I'll take the middle shift. I got some work to be doing. Keep me busy.
I will draw shutters, too, or pull down shades, or whatever kind of treatment they have.
I'll take the last one. I can get up early and work on my extracts.
You all make your way around, defending the room. Who's taking the middle shift?
Moz. He's actually going to try and finish up the work on the gloves that he acquired the materials for back in Perdition.
Okay. Yeah, make me a crafting check, please.
Okay.
Sorry, a spellcraft check.
Okay, that's... got it.
Yes. And you're making gloves...
Arrow snaring, I believe.
DC of 8.
19.
You easily make that.
Okay.
You now are able to complete the gloves.
Nice.
About halfway through your shift, you hear what sounds like a loud crash out in the hallway. And some laughter.
Okay.
And what sounds like a body song being sung, but it quickly disappears into the distance.
Alright. Well, as long as it doesn't seem like an immediate threat to us, I don't think Moz will alert anyone or bring it up, really.
Okay. The rest of the night is quiet. You hear what sounds like an owl hooting outside the window. But otherwise, you all awaken in the morning, ready for an exciting day of tracking down Sawyer, avoiding the Galloways, and finding a revenant.
Wow.
Yay!
Dust and Blood is a Rolling Path production featuring Corinne Hill as Myra Sting, Blake Alfson as our GM, Zach Parker as Moz Copernicus Pryor, Keith Curtis as Jasper Graves, and myself, Gail Parker as Bonesaw. Our theme song is Dust and Blood by Arne Parrott, and other music throughout this recording is provided by Kevin Macleod, Tabletop Audio, Dark Fantasy Studios, and the Desperados 3 original game soundtrack by Filippo Beck Peccoz. Transcripts, detailed sound credits, and more can be found on our website at DustAndBloodPod.com. You can follow us on X and Facebook at DustAndBloodPod, or support us through our Patreon at Dust and Blood, where you can join our community Discord and get perks like our behind-the-scenes discussion show, The Roundup. We're so grateful for the support of our fans, people like Lego Queen BB, Rain, Webbatub, and Barbara. Dust and Blood releases monthly on the 1st, and our next episode is coming at you on August 1st. Content warnings can be found in every episode description, and we hope you enjoy exploring this fantasy western with us. Thanks for listening.
My eyes shoot open to the early morning sun. I feel that aching, pounding, poking of a bullet in my lung. The skinny ceiling bones crunch, and I feel that wretched ancient something drag me up to face that coward son of a gun. His face grows white as he fumbles for his holster. I feel the lead pierce my shoulder, neck, and chest. I scream that I have died 100 times and lived 1,000 years, and I'll be damned if a boy like you's gonna be best. Yes, I'll be damned if a boy like you is gonna be the best.
The main bellhop visibly relaxes when he sees Bonesaw, just like, oh, okay, at least one of you is high class.
Oh, you said Bonesaw. Do you mean Jasper?
Bonesaw?
Oh, yeah.
I was very confused.
Yeah, that would be confusing.
Yeah.
He's relieved to see me? What?
Oh, thank goodness, there's a plague doctor here.
The plague doctor who just shed some flesh.
Clearly, I'm doing the wrong thing if somebody's relaxing in my presence.
Oh, and Reggie. Oh, I am so excited. I'm so glad you guys got to meet Reggie.
Was I right? Is that short for Reggiano?
You are. Parmigiano Reggiano, actually.
Hey. Nice. Asking the DM, what kind of boon am I allowed to ask?
You can ask whatever you'd like.
Okay.
I really had to fight the urge to shout out some goddamn peace and quiet in Moz's voice.